Well, good morning. It's day 26 of the 40-day journey with Dietrich Bonhoeffer. And by now you've heard that we're stay safe, stay home order from the governor is through nearly the end of May. And so the introverts of us are celebrating that they get more time alone, and the extroverts are weeping and looking for ways to find connection with community. This morning I come to you from my garage. I had a woodworking project that I've been working on. I've had a little extra time in the evenings, and on my day off yesterday I spent most of my day in my garage. It's kind of a mess right now. Working on this project, and I was happy to be alone most of the day, in and out doing things, but working with my hands. I guess the study this morning with day 26 of Dietrich Bonhoeffer is whether you're an introvert or an extrovert is what he's going after, and maybe not the more centered ideas of being an introvert or an extrovert, but probably more the extremes. And so it's not a sin to be an introvert or an extrovert, but I think Bonhoeffer goes after ideas in his devotional that talk about the extremes of being an introvert or an extrovert. So I think I'm an introvert for the most part, even though I love being with people. I like to be alone. So I don't know. It's hard to figure out. But what about the extremes? I had a professor in college who used to say, "Know who you are and lean the other way." And that's always been helpful in life for me, is to think about who I am, how God has created me to be, but also know that very often we as humans bend in the direction that we most easily bend. And so Bonhoeffer wants us to think about our extremes, and the extremes that I think that get twisted and pushed in the wrong direction when we bend the easy way, fit with our personality. So maybe you are an introvert. Maybe you love to be alone. Maybe you love to never talk to anyone. You could be on lockdown for years and it wouldn't bother you. And maybe you're an extrovert. Maybe you love people. But how do you get to the extreme? How do the extremes get you in trouble? And Bonhoeffer challenges us to think that if we hate being with people and the church is about community, then maybe we need to lean the other way. Or if we hate being alone, and this is for the extroverts, right? If we hate being alone, if we hate spending time in solitude, then maybe we need to think about how we need to be more reflective and not always so dependent on people. Again, it's the extremes. And so the challenge is to know who you are and let the Spirit of God help you lean the other way. And so how about you? Are you an introvert or an extrovert? Would you rather stay in your garage all day and work on a project and never deal with people, or are you just the opposite? I think the challenge is to think about that and lean the other way. I love his prayer at the end of the devotional, and he challenges us to think about people and to pray for people who may have a hard time with either of the extremes. Maybe they're extroverted and they have to be with people and can't be alone. And then he challenges us to pray for the opposite of that, of those people who are introverted and can't, they don't want to be with people. And then he turns it towards us, and the final prayer is for us to think about our own tendencies, how sin and worship of self and idols creep in and get in the way that way. And so our prayer for the day is, Lord, help us stay away from our extremes. And if we need to move towards community, Lord, help us do that. Or the opposite, Lord, if we lean on people too much, if we've got to be with them all the time, Lord, help us find quiet, alone places where we can be close to you and not dependent on others. So, I'm curious to hear, what are you? Are you an introvert or an extrovert? And then how's the Lord helping you lean the other way? Well, coming from my garage on day 26 of the Bonhoeffer study, and day whatever in the coronavirus lockdown. If you want to do a woodworking project, I still have to glue all this stuff up this weekend, so I'll show you the finished product when it's done. My wife asked me to do some built-in shelves for our family room next to the fireplace. So I'm not a professional carpenter. We'll see how it turns out. We'll talk to you later. God bless, and I hope you have a great day in the Spirit and knowing who you are and leaning the other way. God be with you.